Now, we still need a bail. But safe to say, the mere fact that he is here, he was arrested by members of SAPS, and one will assume that maybe he must have been arrested within certain proximity of the incident, which in this case, it could even be Khayelitsha, where all of us will reside, because it's 20 minutes to Khayelitsha. So all those issues will be issues that will be ventilated.
And at the time of his arrest, what was he in possession of?
No, he was not in possession of anything. He was not in possession. In fact, he denies vehemently those charges. He denies, he rejects those charges.
So the picture that's going around on social media is clearly of him outside Parliament on the steps of, it's got the white wall and a palisade fence.
Well, I won't go to that aspect. Obvious, one would know if the crime scene is Parliament. It would be logical as well when someone is apprehended to be taken to the place of to the crime scene, and that does not necessarily mean that because his pictures or he was seen in Parliament and therefore he must have been the very same person. One will have to ask, hence I say these are the failures of legislature and the executive. One would ask a question, why would now private security and also the police not be present at the place where they are supposed to be? And we don't even know after how long did they arrive. And it can't be if you come across someone wandering around a certain proximity from the crime scene and you therefore assume that this is the person. Obvious, we are not there for now because we don't want to discuss merits of the case for now.
Mr. Godla, the senior counsel you alluded to, is it perhaps Mr. Mpofu himself?
I will disclose his identity when the time comes, but there won't be any harm if I don't tell you now. But surely when we come next time, I will tell, because I cannot say it's Mr. Mpofu or say it's Advocate Mpofu or it's Advocate Ngugai Toby or it's Advocate. I cannot say, because it will also depend on availability of that particular counsel. We will be able to search.
Mr. Godla, just to confirm, is your client will plead not guilty, correct?
My client denies and rejects these charges, and therefore he is pleading not guilty, and he will continue pleading not guilty.
Thank you.
Can you explain when you said that he raised his hand, how and when did he raise his hand to get your attention?
Saying that he's pleading not guilty.
I beg your pardon?
You're saying he's not pleading guilty, however he raised his hand.
He's pleading not guilty.
Okay, explain the hand raising.
No, when I say he raised his hand, it was a response to a question of how did he secure my services and whether is he paying for my services. And my response was that, look, I am not getting money in this case. I am assisting because he raised his hand. He made efforts, he contacted me, and in many ways.
How did he contact you? This is a homeless person that you're talking about.
No, it's not homeless.
No.
That's a mistake which is made by the state, and we've been laboring under this very same mistake. When one is residing in informal settlement or one is renting in informal settlement, it has been assumed that that particular person does not have a fixed address. No, he has got the address. He has got the address. He has been staying there. He stayed in Langa for a period of 4 years, renting at number 11 Washington Street, and he is renting where he is now in Khayelitsha. He has got a family.
What's
he has
his occupation, Mr.
got a
Godla?
mother as the surviving parent. He has got siblings, but as you know, obvious that, like many of us, is not original from the Western Cape. Is originally from my gang. So he is in Western Cape looking for looking for greener pastures. So is a person with fixed address, is a person with family, is the person just like ourselves.
So how long has he been staying in the Western Cape?
He's unemployed.
How long has he been in the Western Cape?
He has been in Western Cape for more than 6 years. Yeah, for more than 6 years. And surely some of us have been here less than that.
So was he anywhere near the Parliament when the fire started?
No, that will go to merits of the case. As I've already indicated that I won't discuss merits of the case.
Mr. Godla, we understand that
Okay,
there
okay,
are
also
stuff
one
found
question,
in his
one
possession,
question. I beg your-
explosives,
I
and
beg-
also we understand that there were explosives found in his possession.
No, not at all. Not at all. You did not follow the council properly. No explosive were ever found in his possession or near himself or within certain proximity where one would assume that he's in possession of those explosives. Nothing of that nature. If you heard properly, council said the crime scene it's not accessible for now. So they wanted to investigate and establish other issues first. They only assumed that there could be some explosive maybe within that area. And even if there could be explosive, we're not interested to that. The issue will be he denies those charges. And those explosives would definitely belong to somebody else.
Is he
not
being held
even
at
able to tell
prison
you?
cells, or is he at Portsmouth?
No, because for purposes of appearance, for first appearance, one would be kept within the proximity.
Is he living
of
alone in the
court,
Western Cape?
But he will be taken to... Yeah, he's living.
What has he been able to tell you about his interrogation?
I beg your pardon?
What has he told you about his interrogation?
No, still that one will venture into merits of the case. Remember, that chap, there is nothing I'm trying to hide from you people. It's him as well who said, you'll be allowed. And I wanted as well that you be allowed. But there will be those issues which we will not be free to discuss with you for now. Yeah, but definitely after some time we will give you information gradually.
So your
Okay, how
client's being
is he-
charged with 2 counts of arson.
Arson, yeah.
Look for one, more especially the state can charge anyone and can press against anyone any charges. Because it's a question that one would assume. We are talking about only one set of facts here. We are talking about the parliament. If in parliament we are saying 5 books were destroyed, really it does not make sense to say one will be charged with 5 counts. You understand? I could not even understand we will be placed in possession of a charge sheet as well, because it absolutely does not make sense. How would you say, okay, this one is accused of burning this building, and you say 2 counts of arson? I really do
So
not
you
know.
think the state got the wrong person?
We are there as well to get it. Absolutely. This is not my instruction. This is not the person who is supposed to be apprehended. This one is the scapegoat. One would even question if now I will venture out, maybe I will come back to what you're asking. What interest would that poor man have in parliament, burning parliament? How would that person get access to parliament to start with? And how would he know where to go in parliament and burn? It's clearly a scapegoat. We have a scapegoat here in front of ourselves. This chap denies.
For who?
I said this is the failure of executive and legislature, not that poor person. That poor person is just like ourselves. Surely where you are, you don't know how to enter parliament and what are the key points, where to burn, which floor, which door.
A failure too?
Let me not go there as well, my sister. I will deal. We will demonstrate that as well when we run a trial. Because if now I respond
He
to
looked
some
really
of the
bewildered
questions,
when he came into the dock.
I
Are there any issues with regard to his mental state at the moment?
no, absolutely
he
nothing.
is.
No.
Okay.
But has
Yeah.
he expressed to you how he actually feels about his arrest? Like, is he...
Yeah, as his attorney, the mere fact that he wanted an attorney, he wanted myself, not legal aid, he wanted myself.
And
When
he asked you by
I arrived here, he knew because we met before. We know each other before.
How do you know each other?
I am from Kailicha, Site C. That's my home. That's where I grew up. And to go to Site B, you simply cross the road. But I won't divulge more. But he knows me, and anyone can know an attorney, any attorney.
Mr. Godla, What was he doing in the precincts of Parliament on Sunday?
How long will you need now?
This is the last answer.
Just the last one.
Okay.
What was he doing in the precincts of Parliament at 6 a.m. in the morning?
Not to start with, I told you, if you listened, or maybe you overlooked this part. To have someone and you place a particular person near a crime scene after apprehending him or her does not necessarily mean this is the person. I don't want to go to circumstances, to merits of this case, but all what I can tell you, he denies and rejects these charges.
Okay. So thank you.
If now today you see him in a dock, surely it won't be a fair question to ask, how did he come to a dock if he is not the person who did the offense? No, anyone can come to the dock. You can tomorrow be brought to the dock as well and answer. But you know what you will get. What is important is when you start responding to the charges placed to yourself. You heard today, the state is saying, we don't know what charges to add, but we can say arson. Because Parliament is destroyed. So it's common sense to say it's arson. So you can charge someone with arson, not necessarily saying he is the one who did it.
So you confirm it's pro bono, or you're going to get paid later?
No, I won't get paid. Good people, I can tell you, it's our requirement as legal professionals that at least per year you must do matters pro bono. And this one, even though you would ordinarily get instruction from our society saying, can you do this matter? But you can as well pick up a matter and place it under pro bono.
You don't look like you've given us an honest answer.
No, it's pro bono. Unfortunately, I cannot now go and come up with bank statement. But I can tell you it's pro bono, my dear sister. Keep this. Today is the date is the 4th. Then you ask me maybe 6 months later. It's pro bono. There is absolutely nothing in my pocket from that man. It's pro bono.